Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new series of Ayurveda and stress management. I'm Dr. Shivani Sood, and with this videos, I will help you understand if you're facing in stress in life, what is the right thing you could do about it, and how to take effective actions against stress. Now, is there anybody who has never been stressed? I guess no. Everybody is facing stress. And the thing as a doctor, what I see is that the stress is manifesting in various other forms. For example, it creates psychosomatic problems, it creates autoimmune disorder. For women, it creates hormonal imbalance. So, stress is just a very small understanding of us not feeling comfortable or really feeling, tense in a situation. But what it leads to is really deeper health problems. So, whenever you are starting to face stress, it's always better to break it down and to simplify it so that you can stay physically and mentally healthy. So, today we are going to talk in this first video about the stress which is called the Vata type of stress. Now, Ayurveda categorizes people into three: the Vata type, the Pitta type, and the Kapha type. And here we are talking about just the mindset. So, we are all born with a certain mindset, which is definitely inherited, but depending on what we are facing in our life, our mind is constantly evolving, right? So, the Vata type of mindset mostly comes, or the stress from the Vata type of mindset mostly comes when you create a picture about who you need to be and you function from a place of lack. That means that you always think like, okay, if I reach here, then I'm going to be, good enough. Or if I do this, all things, then I'll be knowledgeable enough. So there's always this functioning from the kind of really feeling that you need to accomplish a bit more. And secondly, you're this person who is always excited by every new thing and wants to do all the new things. So you always want to do and do. Now, action is basically good, but excessive action leads to stress. And that's where, when you constantly are in action, you're not able to relax, and the Vata type of stress is created. Now, most of the Vata type of stress results in anxiety, sleep disorders, nervousness, panic attack, and depression. So, what could you do so that your Vata stress is less? Now, while I'm coaching people, I have my formula to work with people who are coming with Vata type of stress. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about it. So, what I make them do is narrow down the number of tasks they need to do. So, they are just scattered with lots of thoughts, and I put their thoughts together and I try to bring them to the focus on what's really important for them with these four criteria. The first criteria is absolutely, as a doctor, what I say is health. The second criteria is your work. The third criteria is your relationships. And the fourth criteria is personal empowerment. So, how does this work? Let me give you an example. So, if a person comes, with a lot of tasks, and then I start to cut down the task for them. So, okay, ask them, okay, what are the two things you would be doing for your health? So, after listening to the person, obviously, we're having a consultation. We found out for this person, that person has to go for walk in the morning around 20 minutes every day. And before, the person did not go for a walk because that person assumed that if he went for a walk, he needs to walk for 1 hour, and there was no time for that. So 20 minutes a day walk. And the second thing, what was good for the health, so it take care of the physical and the mental health, was to cut down contact with people who are always putting them down, who are not good for their health. So who are these kind of people? They're the kind of people who you meet and then you sit and think about them, or what they said, or they try to put you down, or they always try to tell what's wrong with you. So for your mental health, it's good to cut down contact with these people or to keep it to minimum. So these were the two things we selected for her health. Now, work, she was not clear about her goal of what she wanted to achieve. There were so many things she wanted to do, and some of the things what she wanted to accomplish were totally out of what she where she was in and what the possibilities were. So obviously you can make anything happen, but at this point we decided to concentrate on the two tasks which she needs to do every day for her work to move forward, considering the bigger goal she has. For example, let's say that, if you're going for work, then you're kind of very clear with, these are the two tasks I want to finish before the end of the day, and write it down and tick it so that you feel satisfied that you've done what you need to do. So in work also, it's very important to see that where your responsibilities are, what you can accomplish in a day, and so that you know that you have done your work. And completing tasks rather than leaving them halfway balances Vata. So that's why I never leave any task not accomplished, right? So reducing the number of tasks which you're procrastinating was done at, with the aspect of work. The third very important thing was relationships. So most of the time we want to be with everyone, and especially if we are a people's person, right? So when you want to reduce the Vata stress, then you are thinking about just two things you could do for your relationship every day. So one day it could be that you want to do it for yourself and you want to do it with your children. So if you have two children, then you have 2 days for two children, right? The next day you want to be, with your partner. Then you want to be with your parents. So you just specify what you want to do, in terms of relationships, just two tasks a day, right? And you can say, okay, I want to have like a half an hour quality time with my daughter. That's what I do, and I did it, right? So as you start doing this, you start to feel calmer. So the relationships always, after spending time with, after being with that person, you should feel great and you should feel like you could connect. If you're not able to connect, then definitely you have to really think about how you could connect and spend time with them. For example, if your mother doesn't have anything in common with you, probably you could just take your mother to theater and watch something together if you both like theater, instead of trying to have a conversation with her, which she's not ready to have. So the relationship times need to feel like you have collected love and you have really spent a good time with the person. And the fourth thing, which is very, very important, is discovering your empowering practices. So overall, for any person, it's very important to look what is the reason why they are, feeling the stress. So often in Vata types, I find out that they are ungrounded. That means their ideas, the things which they want to do, they are really like up in the sky, doesn't have a base. So I recommend mostly spiritual practices to those people. And one of the very common, powerful spiritual practice is 6363 meditation, which comes from the science of pranic healing. And in this, what we do is like we really take a deep breath fast, like for a 6 count, and then we hold it for 3 count, and then we exhale out slowly, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it. And then we hold our belly in and we just hold for 3 seconds, right? So hold. And that's one cycle. It's called as the 6363 cycle. And that's highly, highly grounding. You're going to put your foot on the ground, open your palms, and you're going to breathe 6363 approximately 10 times. And you're going to, after that, visualize that all the stress on your head is just grounding down and you're starting to feel calmer. And this meditation is so powerful that after doing this meditation, you can really start feeling clear in your brain. So whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, this is one of the meditation you could do in order to calm yourself down. It just takes 4 5 minutes and you start to feel calmer. And this is one of absolutely best Vata stress management meditation, 6360 meditation, right? So just do 10 rounds of it, calm yourself, move the energy down, and you're going to start feeling calmer in yourself. And another very simple, focusing technique which Vata can do for stress management is to do the Gyan Mudra. So just your fingers together whenever you're studying or whenever you're trying to concentrate, and definitely just relax for 5 minutes before you start studying or doing something. And this is really useful as a Vata when you're starting to feel stress. And besides this, Ayurveda has a lot of herbal practices, herbal medicines which can be useful for Vata. And so there's a whole scope of Vata stress management. And believe me, when you're out of stress and when you're starting to look at the same task which you were trying to accomplish, you will definitely accomplish it in a better way. So identify your stress and start to do less if you're suffering from Vata stress. Thank you and have a great day.